On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, I'll have an inside look at my surf leaders, plus my outlook for the beach this weekend. Rich has the weather outlook and the correspondence check-in, all here at the Fisherman's weekly video forecast.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
In the September issue of the Fisherman magazine, I have an article on how some respected Long Island surfcasters set up their leaders, so be sure to check it out. Now let me show you how I set up my wallet. I get very specific about my leader setup going into the fall run. I like to break it down into 3 different sizes for surf casting. So what I have right here is I have my 40-pound test leader. I keep 2 per bag. This is for the sand beach, light back bay applications. So I keep 2 of them in there, 40-pound test, 3 feet long. On one end I have a tactical angler's clip, on the other end I have a barrel swivel so they tie on nice and easy, especially if I'm fishing at night. Being quick and being easy about things is ideal. Next one I have is my 60-pound test leaders. These ones I use for fishing the jetty, where there's a little bit more abrasive structure, a little bit of rocks here and there. Same thing, but I up the size of my clip so I can put on bigger bucktails a lot easier. I also have a bigger barrel swivel on the other end, and these are about 3 to 4 feet long as well. And I keep 2 per pack in this one as well. Now, this one over here, this is my 80-pound test leaders. These ones I'm only using when I'm fishing an extreme structure, heavy current, unforgiving territory, and also I won't be afraid to slip these on if there's some bluefish in the area as well to save my plugs from getting chopped off. These ones, again, 3 to 4 feet long, large tactical angler clip. The barrel swivel of your choice, I like the Spro or VMC barrel swivels. Have these in your bag as well. I keep 2 of them in this package, so if I do lose one, I have another one. We are at Suffolk Marine right now, and they do have everything you need to tie these leaders up. They have fluorocarbon leader material, tactical angler clips, barrel swivels. Give them a visit, check out all this stuff as well. And if you want to see more on tying leaders from other people, other opinions, check out my latest feature in the September issue of the Fisherman magazine. News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen tells me he's still plugging away at bass and blues to the west and Reynolds Channel. Let's see what he has in store for us this weekend. Rich.
All right, thanks, Matt. Hey, anglers, let's check out the weekend forecast. See what we got going on. You can always check out your favorite websites, favorite apps, whatever weather tools you got as we get closer. This is a general overview, general heads up on the upcoming weekend. Let's see what's going on. So water temps kind of holding mostly 70s there all throughout the island. And wave heights Saturday are going to be okay, 2 to 4, 4 to 8 offshore. It's mainly a swell, though, as Larry moves on by well out to the east. And things will settle by midday afternoon on Saturday. Probably the better day of the weekend to do some ocean fishing, as it'll be okay. The inlet's a little bit rough, but just be careful there. Sunday, the winds come back southwest hard, about 10 to 20, and it's going to churn things up 4 to 8s, 8 to 12s, especially east of Fire Island. Maybe by the coast to the west, you can get away with it. But the weekend, not perfect. But Saturday looks okay. It's a light breeze from the north-northwest, going southwest late in the day. I think you'll be okay. No chance of rain. Looks all right. And then a hard southwest Saturday night. We get about 10, 15, up to 20, 25 perhaps on Sunday afternoon. So it's going to really churn things up a bit. I get a nicer day, probably for the ocean, would be on Saturday. Larry, as we mentioned, is way offshore east of Bermuda going out to the North Atlantic. So just the swells will come on in. Just be careful around the inlets there. And there's the high tides, North Shore, South Shore across the east end. Looks like North Shore for the late afternoon and South Shore for about late morning. High temps, 70s to near 80 on Saturday, cooler day. Some low to mid 80s on Sunday, the warmer day. Check the Guru quickly, and there's your Saturday, and kind of confirms a light breeze. The wind looks pretty good on Saturday. You just got these waves here, maybe like 3 to 5 feet, close to shore. Sunday, though, doesn't look great. You're starting to get a west-southwest, a little choppier here. And you still got those, 3 to 4s, 3 to 5s. So probably a small craft on Sunday. And I think Saturday is going to turn out to be slightly nicer of the weekend days. So be safe as always. Enjoy. Have a great weekend. Matt, back to you.
Fred, unfortunately, is still a little under the weather. So once again, I'm going to have a go at the surf report. Here's some good bets for the surf this week. We're going to start away east in Montauk and head west. So in Montauk, a good bet is, bluefish on the north side at sunrise, sunset. If you go to the south side, you have a good shot, some smaller striped bass with the possibility of a slot-sized fish. Like I said, sunrise, sunset, after dark. Now, we're going to move over to the North Fork over here. All along this stretch right here, we have a good shot, some albacore. There's been some bluefish, some striped bass on top water in this area as well, but definitely keep an eye out for those blitzing albacore. Look out for that rain bait, that small bait, those small jigs, epoxy jigs at them. Moving away back this way, along this stretch right here, you have a good shot, some bluefish. Again, top water, sunrise, sunset is a good bet. Moving over to the South Shore inlets over here, Mauritius and Shinnecock. I got some good reports in of some bluefish during the day. You can get them on bucktails. Like I said, you want to go deep because these fish are deep in the inlets. And if the tide is really ripping, you want to definitely get down to them. And moving away west again, over along this stretch. Good shot at some fluke this time of year along the surf. What I like to do for that is small bucktails, a little bit of gulp, a little bit of fish bites, a teaser as well. Work that surf line at the higher points of the tide and you're going to have a good shot at connecting. Also, if you go over here in this area, there's a good porgy bite going on from this surf. You can use small jigs, fish bites on a jig will work really well, as well as the standard high-low with the clam rig. This is your surf report for the week, and that's it. See you guys next week. Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings everybody from out here in Montauk. Coming at you with another report this week. Everything's staying pretty well consistently the same, picking away at fluke. Sea bass limit opened up some more, so people are able to put a little bit more sea bass on the boat. Talked to a couple boats. They were out cod fishing, so a couple guys are now trying to target cod more specifically, and they're doing pretty good. Consistent drops, fish up to 10, 12, even some 18 pounders I've heard of. So that's pretty decent cod fishing for this time of year. False albacore, striped bass, bluefish, all the inshore stuff, fly fishing and light tackle, still very consistent. I was fortunate enough to have a young man named Jackson this week. He fished me 3 or 4 days. He was a great caster, really good kid on the boat for 13 years old. He really did a good job. Came up with some false albacore, some bluefish, a couple nice striped bass. In regards to the offshore report, things are still sound like they're doing pretty good. That could all change this weekend with the big swell coming on. Little Steven, kind of getting some information from him on the 5-star. He's actually on his way in right now during this report. I'm going to try to get some pictures from him. He had a private charter and they basically limited out on all their yellowfins. I'm sure they got some other stuff. I'm just waiting to get that full report. The Viking Star, same thing. They left on Monday for a 3-day trip. They're supposed to be back Thursday morning, so I should have some information on that trip next week. So everybody, there's going to be a big swell on this weekend. That's probably going to offset the fluke with the swell. And other than that, fishing should resume once the swell dies out, maybe on Sunday. Again, a reminder, Sunday, October 3rd, we're having our Sage Rod Demo Day at the Montauk Lake Club. We're raffling off a full Sage Rod, reel, and Rio fly line, as well as some other good raffle prizes. Barbecue by North Fork Ironworks and free beer by Montauk Brewing. Other than that, Matt, I'm going to turn it back to you. Everybody have a good weekend, and thanks again.
From Sag Harbor, we have the East End Anglers.
Thanks, Matt. Report this week out of Sag Harbor. Bottom fishing has still been producing. You have sea bass and porgies as you move further east. Fluking's been a grind some days, and it's been pretty successful others. In addition, you're starting to see some great signs of the fall run. We've had albies already start to show up, which is nice and early and a great sign for things to come. Moving offshore, mahi and yellowfin have started to really produce recently in the coming weeks, and we only expect things to kind of produce even more. West Atlantis has been great for those looking to do a little further of a trip and overnight. Swords and even wahoo have been reported, which is great, and really looking forward to the fall run and more great things to come. Thanks, guys. Now back to you.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Well, we're into fall run. At least that's how I'm counting. It's after Labor Day. Got my first bass in a while off the beach yesterday off Southampton Beach at sunset, coinciding with high tide. There was an unbelievable amount of cocktail blues, like literally every cast other than the one I got the bass on, which does lead to that competitive feed. So hopefully we'll see an improvement off the beach. I was using a 1 and then a 1.5 ounce bucktail. I was getting it done. I'm pretty sure that bass thought he was going after one of those sand flea mole crabs. As you can see from the picture, the earlier high tide in the day created kind of a slope, and then the waves coming in were just kind of like pulling down everything that was in the loose sand. So, and those bites, that bite that I had on the bass was right at the lip. So, but the cocktail blues were really, really thick. To bring the kids down there, it was kind of like automatic. I assume we'll see more of that as in the next week or two. Fluke bite is good, but not very steady. A couple of really nice catches. Most of the action seems to be out further to the east by Montauk, but a buddy of mine got a nice one in Moriches Inlet last week. Still a few around Shinnecock being caught. Sea bass, a little bit further out seem to be where the bigger fish are, with there being, so many of the spots being fished out the last couple of weeks of summer. So, but that's definitely worth the trip out there. Then the Albies, and I've been putting my time into no avail at Shinnecock East. Few people have gotten them. They definitely are not thick. Again, out of Montauk, it seems to be pretty good. Captain Tim O'Rourke and Paul Dixon have both been on them pretty steady, along with Dave Flanagan. So definitely get out to Montauk for a light tackle, fly, run, and gun trip this fall. There's really nothing like it. So really looking forward to this beach bite heating up. They're still back in the bay in that marshy area, still holding a lot of, the marsh's edge holding a lot of bait. So that's definitely worth it when you have enough water to work with, spooks and small poppers, as well as really light soft plastics like 1/4 ounce, 3/8 of an ounce jig. So, keep at it. It's just, we got the best time of the year fishing coming right at us. So enjoy the weekend. Hope you catch them. Any comments or questions or just a good fish story, don't hesitate to reach out. Love hearing all of them. Love bumping into a lot of people that watch the video report that I'll meet this fall run and that I've bumped into all summer. So, all right, Matt, back to you. Thanks.
Mike Dean wanted us to also pass along that there will be a 9/11 flotilla parade in New York Harbor. If you want to be a part of this event, visit 911artificialreef.com for more information. Let's check in with Kirk Fay from Moriches, who has this offshore report for us.
Thanks, Matt. 2021 has been a great year for mahi. Not only are there tons of them around, but the quality is something that we haven't seen for a couple of years. I ran out on Tuesday. It was myself and 2 other buddies. We went southeast of Moriches, about 50 miles out to the pots, and the first pot we came across was just covered in really nice sized mahi. In fact, I landed my biggest mahi ever. I weighed it 32 pounds, caught it on a live peanut bunker, light tackle. It actually, you're probably gonna laugh at me, but it took me 40 minutes. It's a big fish. Along with that, my buddy Adrian on the same trip caught a 21 pounder. JP, I think, had a 16-pound fish. So if you really want to catch big mahi, you got a couple more weeks left. If you can get to the canyons, they'll usually sit there around those pots until, maybe late October. But if you want to catch a big mahi, this is the time to do it. Don't go out without live bait.
Now let's get an update on the Dream Boat contest with Tim C. Smith.
There are no changes to the top 4 leaders this week. Henry Piacentino remains in first. Michael Briggs is in second. Joseph Yam is in third. And former Dream Boat Grand Prize winner Garrett Weir is in fourth. This week's offshore entries continue with John Stavola's 11.9-pound mahi weighed in at Rivers and Tackle on August 28th. We also had a 3.1-pound sea robin entry from Fred Liederman of Hampton Bays, weighed in at East End Bait and Tackle. There's tons of time remaining in the Dream Boat Challenge as we enter into some of the best fishing of the year. The Dream Boat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a new Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Subscribe now to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the action.
Brendan Rutigliano of Captree Bait and Tackle has this latest report from Captree.
Hey Matt, some great fishing after Hurricane Ida and Henry. The doormats are definitely here. We even had a 10.5-pound fluke caught off the local pier near Captree by Brian. Here's a picture. About 30 minutes after Brian, here comes Captain Walter of the Fish Finder Party Boat with another 10-pounder caught right off the reef, the Fire Island Reef. About 30 minutes after Brian, Captain Walter of the Fish Finder Party Boat comes down the dock with another 10-pounder caught off the Fire Island Reef. The Captree docks have also been getting sea bass, triggerfish, porgies, kingfish, some bay blues mixed in with all those snappers. We've actually been getting a good run of weak fish lately off the dock. Captree's hours are still 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Jones Beach docks are pretty much the same, with kingfish, sea bass, and blowfish destroying any bait you put down. If you want, you can catch larger bluefish, triggerfish, sheep's head, and some decent keeper fluke, with a few nice sized sea bass mixed in off the dock. September is the time to fish, so come on down and ask the staff for what tips, tricks, and bait they suggest.
From the Fire Island and Great South Bay area, we have Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report this week. Looks like the weak fish bite is definitely on. I fished a couple of days ago, had a limit in a very short time. Actually, was catching and releasing, having some fun. And they're all nice sized fish. I would say the smallest was 3. The largest we had was maybe 5 pounds, and dropped a big one, I think probably 7 pounds. So they're in all the natural ones. All the way you found them in the spring, they're back there again. They're kind of bunching up, getting ready to head out the inlet. Bottom fishing is excellent. All kinds of porgies, sea bass, blowfish, kingfish, on any structure that you have inside, and a lot of triggerfish too as well. So a lot of different things to do. Fluke fishing is slow. I would just focus on other stuff beside that. And what else? I guess that's about it for this week. So get out there, catch them up, have a great time. I'll talk to you next week, Matt.
From Northport, we have Mark McGowan from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Wow, it's crazy. We've got this wind. It just seems to be unrelenting, so it's tough. But, I mean, the fish don't seem to mind. All the times I see snappers all the time. There's been some fluke caught in our marina. It's really silly. There's a lot of fish. We have so much bait, peanut bunker, killies, eels, spearing everywhere, of all different sizes. So these fish are really keyed in. I'm seeing a lot of fish that are starting to transition into the back of the harbors. You look at stuff like Shinnecock River, Stony Brook, over here in Northport, the back of Huntington, try to get all the way back in Cold Spring Harbor. These fish, they're going to move down in little packs, and they're going to corral in the bait. And you want to be there in the morning or the evening, and then, just pick your beach and your tides pretty well. But try to stick with the sunrise and the sunset areas. That seems to be like the magical moment, as we call it. It's the magic time. So go for that age-old advice. Get down there, try it out. This fishing's fantastic. If you're on the jig bite, the jig bite's great. There's bass in the mix. There's bluefish there. Fluking's kind of tough, but some really large fluke always come up this time of the year. Remember, they love these bait fish, and they like larger fish that are eating the bait fish. So you'll find some really large fluke in some of the most peculiar areas during this time of the month. Remember, fluke season's about to end, so you really want to get it in before it does, and hopefully you'll get a trophy. Everything else is going pretty well. We've seen a short appearance of false albacore, so hopefully they'll stick around. I don't want to have any crazy ass winds coming in and really pushing the fish out again, and create turmoil. But if you're off the beach, these winds are fantastic. They're pushing bait in onto the shoreline, and there's a lot to chase. So that's a great opportunity here on the North Shore. Remember, no matter what direction the wind is, we have so many options. We have so many nooks and crannies. Next week, I bid everyone peace, tight line.
Dave Anderson of the New England Fisherman has an update on the Coastal Kayak Clash. Dave?
This week in the Coastal Kayak Clash, weather definitely played a factor along with holiday planning. But we did get one fish in that really made a difference, and that was Bob Wagner's 26-inch Albie, which not only puts him in first place so far for Fish of the Month for September, but it also leapfrogs him over Justin Oser, gives him 9 points, leading the tournament right now. Justin Oser in second place with 8 points, Bob Stuber holding down third place with 5. Don't forget that September's Fish of the Month is hardtails, so it could be an Albie or a Bonito. You get a $100 yakattack.com gift card if you win it, and there's still a long way to go. Good luck out there. Get on those kayaks and catch some fish.
Captain Mike Sentry has the latest from Staten Island.
On Tuesday, headed out with the crew for mahi and yellowfin. The mahi were pretty much abundant in everywhere we looked. We looked at cardboard, pieces floating out there, tree trunks, tree limbs, full-size grown trees, 40, 50 feet in length. Something you definitely don't want to hit even at night at all times. Not even 5 miles an hour you want to hit one of those bad boys. But these mahi had lockjaw. The ones that we caught obviously didn't. And those were caught, by the way, on the blue Clark spoon. Blue and green Clark spoon. They're about a little half-ounce jig this big. Next week report, I might show you guys. I go in my garage and show you. The yellowfin were a little bit uptight on Tuesday. We tried wide trackers, crazy 8s, crazy 6s, daisy chains. Oh God, what did we try? Jigging for them. They just were non-existent. We did get them on the harness jigs. So we got 2. One was lost at the boat. One was definitely gaffed. And that one produced for today. But, nothing, blown out of this world. We got fish on the boat, and that's all that counts. Hopefully next week we'll get back out there and give you guys a better report. And please follow me, Anglers of Legend Sportfish, on Facebook and Instagram. Back to you, Matt.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, to be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Dream Boat Contest and Coastal Kayak Clash. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. See you right here next week at thefisherman.com.